Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Reverend REDFERN, and I am spiritual director of this wonderful, beautiful place. Welcome. Wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are certainly welcome here. We've got the big love band in the house today. We've got a wonderful talk, a great meditation and reading. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Welcome to the center.
Good morning. Thank you for joining me. This is the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. My name is Valerie Data, licensed practitioner, and it's my pleasure to bring you the meditation this morning. This month's theme is Unchained Spirituality, and this week theme is Free at Last. So I'm going to read you a little something first. The essence of science of mind is responsibility and action. When you know the divine truth that we are all one, all part of the same God, you understand that if that is true, then we all have the same freedom and responsibilities. Freedom, rights, and responsibilities are built on the premise that we are all interconnected spiritual beings, having our uniquely personal human experience, and that together we are all on a common journey, a journey that takes place both in our consciousness as well as in the physical world. So now if you'll just get settled in your chair, let's take this a little deeper and begin with a nice breath in. Exhale, maybe let out some sound. And get settled in your chair, feet on the floor, maybe hands on your lap. And begin to take some more breaths in to relax the body, release the shoulders, any tension or tiredness in the body. And come to a place of quieting the body so you can quiet the mind. Breathing in. Fully and deeply, exhaling fully, allowing the breath to fill your belly, breathing in, settling in. And so, when we're speaking about freedom, I want to bring your attention to something that we talk about in Science of Mind, and that is your divine nature. Spiritual beings having a human experience. Spiritual as we are deeply connected to the creative principle of life. We are deeply created by the divine intelligence. And so as we are made in the image and likeness of God, of that divine intelligence, we have the ability to embody the spiritual capacities. So as we claim them, we put on our divine identity. It is our true nature. So for instance, as we do spiritual practices like prayer and meditation, we come to realize the truth of our divine nature. And the truth is that we have the hearts of divine love. We have the minds of divine wisdom and the lives of divine light. So for a moment, taking that inward, it is our divine nature to partake of divine love. That is the very principle of harmony and unity, divine love. And it is innate to us. created in the image and likeness of God. Divine love, the self-givingness of life, just comes forth from divine intelligence. And as it is our nature to be self-giving, giving of ourself to others, as well as giving to ourselves. Next, divine wisdom, the ability to discern, to evaluate. That is part of our divine nature. And as we go into prayer or meditation, we look for that divine guidance. We look for clarity, and we receive it, and we can embody it. And we create our life by choosing thoughts that come from clarity. So, next we talk about divine life. As we choose to create through the thoughts we think and the feelings we have, we create a life where we have the ability to express through our creativity. We express out into the world through our talents and gifts, through creativity and divine intelligence. We have so much to be thankful for because we've been given the freedom that is innate to us. We've been given the freedom to embody divine love, to embody divine wisdom, and to express ourselves in this beautiful life. So we're not alone in this, because this is the birthright of each and every spiritual being having a human experience. How blessed are we? And so as we endeavor to embody our divine nature through our divine identity, we are helping all of humanity to wake up to the truth of our spiritual magnificence. So I invite you to think about that. I invite you to take it within your heart to recognize that you have those capacities to express divine love, to tap into divine wisdom, clarity, and guidance, and to create a life expressing the light and love that you are. So recognizing this, I do give thanks for the one power and the one presence, one divine intelligence, and that we are all unified in this creation. I give thanks. I bless this time together. And so it is. Thank you all for joining me. Namaste. Now please stay tuned for the spiritual celebration of life. Thank you.
Good morning. There is a power, there is a force in the universe that is greater than us. And we can work with this power, this force, and create lives for ourselves that are happier, healthier, more peaceful, and more content. Welcome to this morning's presentation from the Centers for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral, Florida. I'm Reverend David Renee Jennings, Associate Minister here.
And I'm Vicki Jennings. I'm the music director.
We're so very happy that you've chosen to spend time with us this morning. Time with your spiritual family. Welcome home.
Welcome. We wanted you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we're so glad you decided to join us this morning.
And as we begin our time together, as usual, we like to do a blessing. Blessing you, blessing ourselves, our spiritual family, and the world at large. And it goes like this. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we're grateful for you. And so it is. Please stay tuned for an empowering message from Reverend Shel Redfern.
Also, please follow us on Facebook, like us, or love us because we love you. And you can find us on YouTube or on our website.
Have a great morning, an awesome afternoon, a wonderful week, and we'll see you back here next weekend. All the very best. Health and happiness. Bye now.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loved you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. They recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. Every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name. Oh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
Good Sunday morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral's Sunday celebration. My name is Patrick O'Brien. I'm a practitioner student here at the center. It is my honor this morning to be bringing you the reading and the prayer. This was taken from the online Spiritual Quest by Linda Lee. What is spiritual freedom? Spiritual freedom is being in a place where, in spite of whatever life may bring, we are free to draw from the unseen power within us to deal with the challenges and losses. Spiritual freedom is the capacity to focus on what we want instead of focusing on what we don't want, for the good of ourselves and the good of others. Spiritual freedom has no need to hold back our beauty, our power, our wisdom, our metaphysical knowledge, our ability to manifest things, our capacity to do good, to heal, and to spread love. Spiritual freedom is a space or place of existence that is in complete alignment with the Spirit of God. Nothing is missing. Everything is complete. And that is all there is. So real life continues to be what it is, but we relate to it from a different realm, where all that is needed is consistently available to us. Some call it oneness with God, nirvana, or bliss. It's not that there are no challenges or problems, but we are able to approach them from a different starting point. I have yet to master this state of being, but I love the journey getting there. So let's take these words into prayer. If you're comfortable, please close your eyes. And we stay right here in this present moment, right now, with nothing else before this time and nothing else after this time. And it's in this space that we find our unity with God. And it's in that unity that we know that we all have the power to be one with God and to be all of that love, peace, and harmony and compassion for ourselves and for each other. And as I know this is my truth, I know this is the truth of everyone that I encounter, that we are all on this spiritual journey. We are all capable of loving one another and being spiritually free in that knowing of our oneness with Spirit. And it's with great gratitude in knowing these words that I can release these words into the law of mind, knowing it is already done, it is already so, and we can say together, and so it is. Namaste, my friends. Please continue watching as our spiritual leader, Rev. Shel Redfern, delivers today's uplifting message. Good day.
Good morning. Can you believe it's July already? Holy smokes. With as much as been going on, and sometimes time feels like it's moving very slowly, it's moving pretty quickly too at the same time. Isn't it funny how that works? It's a dynamic, isn't it? Well, with entering a new month, we have a new theme. Our monthly theme for this, our theme for this month is Unchained Spirituality. Unchained Spirituality. I can't wait to work with this. I think it's going to be really fun. And our theme for today is Free at Last. Free at Last, which, it's understandable. Yesterday was Independence Day. We are so very blessed in this particular country to have the freedoms that we have, aren't we? We are so blessed. I feel very blessed to have been born at this point in time and have the freedoms that I have inherently because I was born here. Not everybody in this world has those kinds of freedoms. Freedom's an interesting word, isn't it? It is. It's looked at in a bunch of ways. We all know that we have this drive to be free. Many of us seek stuff like financial freedom, and that can be looked down upon by some. I don't think it should be. I think that's a wonderful idea. If we have financial freedom, we have the ability to express our gifts more readily. And it's with thinking like that and thoughts like that. I went down this would you call it a rabbit path or a rabbit hole? I don't know. It led me down a path of thinking. And I was wondering, is the desire for freedom, does that come from the personality or the soul? I was pondering it. And this is life according to Shel, so take it as whatever. But I was thinking about that, and I was thinking, well, Gary Zukav in Seed of the Soul, which I've been studying, talks about the personality. My personality would be Shel Redfern, and everything that I'm presenting to you today, Shel Redfern, here's my personality. The soul is the part of me that is connected to each one of you, that is connected to everything in this manifest universe, and is part of God, Spirit. That would be the soul. And Gary Zukav's idea is that the personality is here in support of the soul. And so the more that we can have an awareness that we're multidimensional beings, then we can step more into supporting our soul and delivering our gifts. The more I think about that, to me, delivering our gifts is true freedom, and the gifts and the urge to emerge to deliver this, that comes from the soul. So I believe that the quest for freedom is not a personality-based something. I believe it's spirit seeking fuller, freer expression. So when we have this desire to be more free, it's spirit in us looking to be more free. It's a soul kind of thing. Yeah, well, that also means that where we are in the situation that we're in does not create our freedom. You know, I could have been born in another country where I didn't have freedom. I could have been born into another way of being, or where physically I was restricted. That could very much have been me. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't have had freedom to express. That comes from my mind. That comes from my thinking. And I think that all freedom really goes into our mind and into our thinking. So I started to research for this talk and started to think about how it might unfold. And Nelson Mandela came to mind. So I looked up Nelson Mandela and looked for quotes that he, said and so on. And the one I came across that I really enjoyed, he said when he was stepping into presidency, his first speech, and he said, "The time has come to accept in our hearts and minds that freedom comes with responsibility. Freedom comes with responsibility." And it absolutely, freedom comes with responsibility. And then I started to go down that rabbit trail or rabbit hole or whatever you want to call it. And I found a quote by Sigmund Freud. Now, Freud says most people don't want freedom because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Holmes puts it yet another way. So I went to the Science of Mind textbook, and I went to the word freedom in the glossary. And here's what Ernest Holmes says. "We are bound by our very freedom. Our free will binds us. The universe, being deductive only, cannot refuse us anything. The force that makes us sick can heal us. As man realizes his oneness with creative mind, he is released from the bondage of false thinking." False thinking. So all of these indicate to me that it's not the circumstance that creates the idea or the feeling of freedom within us. It is our mind, it's our thinking that creates the idea of freedom. So how can we start to adjust our thinking to create more freedom in our lives? What a great question. What a great question. Well, it brought to mind a story that I read once about a woman named Helen. And Helen was kind of down and out. She was bored. She wasn't happy in her life. And she was talking to a friend of hers. And this friend said, "Well, Helen, I think you should be more aware of how you're phrasing things, the words that you're using. Because words are powerful, Helen. And, Spirit hears words and Spirit hears your thoughts. So start with just being aware of what you're saying, the words you're using." So Helen decided to just really monitor what she was saying and see if she could figure out words that she was saying on a frequent basis that might be restrictive. Now, the first word that she noticed that she used a lot is can't. The word can't. What a great awareness. So let us all be aware. Is that a word that I use a lot? I can't. And it was fascinating to hear her talk about the things that she shifted to get the word can't out of her vocabulary. Even things like if she couldn't attend a social gathering. She had been invited somewhere and couldn't attend the social gathering. Instead of saying, I can't come, she would actually take responsibility for why she was making that decision, knowing it was a decision that she could go, she could change plans, she could whatever, but saying something along the lines of, oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Commitment is a core value of mine, and I have an engagement that night. Another night, I would love to do it. Isn't that remarkably different than I can't make it? It's remarkably different in all kinds of ways. The people receiving that completely understand. They learn something about you. You reinforce a core value, and you stand by the decision you made. How often are we using the word can't in day-to-day activities, and how is that word limiting our thinking about something, our perception of something? What put that can't there? We always are at a point of decision. We are always at a point of decision. We get to choose whether we do or don't. Can't is a great first word to start with eliminating from our vocabularies, don't you think? I think so too. Well, once she got can't, and it took her a few months, once she got can't incorporated, she noticed her life was changing drastically. And she was releasing a lot of things that didn't serve her, and she was stepping into a lot of things that otherwise would have scared her or she wouldn't have done before. And she decided that it was time to think about another word. The next word that she chose was should. Should. I should do that. You should do that. She removed the word should. What a great word to remove. What a great word to remove, isn't it? It is. Which, often it happens. People run around shoulding on themselves and on others. And what does it create? Guilt. Guilt. No need. No need, no need, no need. She said should was actually easier to remove than can't. And that it again gave her another level of freedom because she would discern and look at something and say yes or no. Should was completely removed from the equation. Either she decided yes to do it or no, she wouldn't do it. No shoulding. No shoulding at all. How awesome. But she said, by far the most powerful one, believe it or not, those are two powerful ones, the most powerful one was never. Never. She noticed that she would say, I've never done this, I've never done that, I've never gone here, I've never tried that. Never. And she decided she didn't want never to be reinforced in her subconscious mind, so never was the next word to go. And it was replaced with not yet. All of that led to, her story went on to because she put not yet in there, and the energy of not yet is so different than the word never, it just opened door after door after door after door, because it created an expression of a desire within her. So, for example, she met with a friend of a friend, and this friend of a friend was from Dubai, and said to her, have you ever been to Dubai? And Helen said, not yet. And the friend said, well, would you like to come? You would be welcome to stay in my home. We could travel around. And Helen said, well, you don't even know me. We've talked for maybe 30 minutes here. Why would you open up your home to me? That's very generous and everything, but why would you do that? And then the woman said, because I just have a feeling about you. I have a good feeling about you, and I would love for you to come to Dubai. And Helen gave her opportunity after opportunity, not believing her good luck because Dubai is a place that she always wanted to go to. And the woman said, no, please come. And she did end up going. And she had a wonderful time. And because she had put not yet at the end of so many things, door after door after door after door was open to her by making that one small shift, taking never and saying not yet. All of this reminded me of a story most of you have heard about me, of how I started into teaching college. And it was a talk here. I won't give the long version of it. I'll give a Reader's Digest version of it. It was a talk here at the center. I had been coming here for several months. And Reverend Brian said one day, take something that you've been saying, someday I will, and instead of saying someday I will, put I am in front of it. First thing that popped into my head was college professor. I had wanted to be a college professor since I was 22. I was 40-something, at this point. And I knew it required a master's degree, and I knew that it required this, and I knew it required that. So that's why, in my mind, it was someday I will, and it was way out there, way out there. And Reverend Brian said, put I am in front of it, and then own it. Own it. Just pretend. Just pretend. Just pretend and own it. So I did. And I am telling you what, it wasn't 4 days later, I was working as a college professor without a master's degree. You only have to be 1 degree level up from those you are teaching. I taught at a 2-year college, and I loved it. Loved it. Loved it, loved it. Did it for many, many years. Ended up a dean. All of these things. It's amazing. It's amazing the freedom that happens. And what that story, my story taught me, this goes full circle back to, is this a soul thing or a personality thing? What my story taught me is that my soul was seeking to express as that college professor, as a teacher, for my entire life. It was waiting for me to say yes to it. It was waiting for me to get out of my own way. It was waiting for me to drop all the rules that I thought were necessary for that to unfold. What would happen in your life if today, regardless of all the circumstance, you took a dream and said, instead of someday I will, I am. I am. I am are two of the most powerful words we have. They are the means through which we work with spirit. I am. I am. So what is freedom? Freedom, I think, is a way of thinking. Freedom is a way of being in the world. Freedom does not require the right circumstance. It requires the right mindset. That's what freedom is for me. And I know that all of you are wondering, but Shell, what would Ernest Holmes say? I'm so glad you asked. This ties into the I am that I was just talking about. This is from Living the Science of Mind, and it starts like this. Oh, I'm going to make you aware that every time I say I am, it's capital I, of course, and then capital A, too, indicating that the I am is tied to spirit. Okay? Okay. So, from Science, Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. Awake! Become aware of my presence, for I am life. Capital L there, too. Become aware of my presence, for I am life. I am not something a part of your being. I am your being. Closer than breathing, nearer than hands or feet, I am. You have thought you denied my existence by affirming lack, fear, and failure, but in reality, you have merely affirmed my power to be to you which you believed. Oi, right? I'm going to repeat that, because the wording's a little bit on the funky side, but hear the meaning underneath. my existence by affirming lack, fear, and failure, but in reality, didn't start at the right place. You have thought you denied my existence by affirming lack, fear, and failure. But in reality, you have merely affirmed my power to be to you that which you believed. If we speak lack, fear, and failure, we will experience lack, fear, and failure, because another word for spirit is what? Yes. Yes. It can only say yes to us. He goes on. I am the reality of your being, but I have always appeared to you in the form of your belief. I am more than your conscious mind. I am that which projects the mind which you call you. Isn't that interesting? I am that which creates your being and projects it from the center of my own divine originality. I am that which creates your being and projects it from the center of my own divine originality. I am the power which has bound you to your false belief. I am the presence which by me alone can give you freedom. I'm going to read that again. I am the presence which alone can give you freedom. Bondage and freedom are one and the same. I am, who is in the midst of your being, can project one as easily as another. Bondage does not bind me. It merely expresses me. That which you call bondage is my freedom misused. I have come to awaken you from a sense of limitation, to proclaim to you the eternal days of my abundance. I have come to equate your mind with truth, to convert your soul by reason, inspiration, and illumination to the realization that I am is all there is, beside which there are none other. Isn't that remarkably powerful? Bondage does not bind me, it merely expresses me. We create our own limitations and we create our freedom. The choice is always, always, always ours, because we are God in form. So how about we take that into prayer? So taking a moment to turn within, knowing together there is one power, one presence, one life. I am that life. I am a divine expression of a most high, good, most high God. I am. This is what I know. I know that a change has occurred here today because we came together, because we shared these ideas, because we learned the bondage and the freedom that is inherent within us, that is our birthright, that is who we are. We were bound and freed by the same thing. So today and every day that follows, I choose freedom. I am Spirit made manifest. I am love in form. I am joy and peace and abundance. I am good. I am God. For this understanding and so much more, I'm so very, very grateful. So in gratitude, I release my word into law. And know peace, love, joy, and abundance right here, right now. It is done. It is done. So let's anchor this together by saying, and so it is. And so it is. So be it, my friends. Namaste.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Gidley, and I am a practitioner student at the Center for Spiritual Living, Cape Coral. I'm also on the board as secretary for the Leadership Council. And now is the time to show gratitude for all that has happened here today. We offer several ways to give. There is currently a number on the screen that you can text your donation to. There's a one-time sign-up prompt, and after that, you just put in and approve your dollar amount. It's that easy. We also offer online giving and automatic transfer of funds online at cslcapecoral.org. You can mail your check to CSL Cape Coral, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue. That's in Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. And if you shop on Amazon, please go to smile.amazon.com and choose CSL Cape Coral, and Amazon will donate a portion of your purchase at no charge to you. Now please join me in the tithing affirmation. Today, I know the activity of divine abundance is at work in my life and the life of this center. I give and receive generously as I live in the flow of bountiful good. So, I speak a word of blessing over this tithe with appreciation and love. I accept these offerings and gifts. Divine love through me blesses each gift and each giver. I know that all that has been given here circulates to do great works both within this spiritual community and in the world at large. Standing in gratitude, I release these words. So please join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. Happy 4th of July. Namaste. God bless.
In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us, decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, sing this song, all is one. In the name of love. In the name of love, may we always be seeking out the best till we all are free, living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one. In the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, sing this song, all is one. In the name of love. In the name
And now it's time to stand in the light. When we stand in the light, we stand knowing the truth about a situation, what we want to see, the outcome we want to see. So I am standing in the light for John Coriel. John, I am knowing your perfection. You are whole, perfect, and complete right now. I am standing in the light for Vicki Jennings, knowing your perfection as well, Vicki. I know you are whole, perfect, and complete. I am standing in the light for each and everyone watching this video, knowing that freedom is the order of the day and that we all move forward in a new way because we came together today. I'm so grateful for that. If you are on Facebook, do write your standing in the light in the comments so that we can share that energy with you. If you are on YouTube, you can do the same thing, or please send us a prayer request at www.cslcapecoral.org. There is a prayer request button right there. Go ahead and submit one, and we'll send it out to our practitioner core, and they will hold the high watch for you all week. So I'm going to speak a short blessing over all of the standing in the light that came in today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Anyway, let's know together that there is one thing going on, one power, one presence, and that power and presence is moving through each and every one of these prayer requests. We know that they are not requests because the universe is not deaf. Everything that has been put into this sacred space has been heard, received, and is acted on right now by law. So I know that good and more good is flowing forward right now. For this and so much more, I am so very grateful and thankful. I turn this prayer over and let it be. It is done. It is done, and so it is. So be it, my friends. Announcements. We have a few announcements today. We are continuing to host a Course in Miracles experiment class. It is online. If you have never signed up, please do. You'll find links to sign up on our calendar and up in our Facebook group. We post things there quite frequently, so if you'd like to join that, please let us know and we'll get you the information to log in. That is on Tuesday mornings from 10 until 12:30, I think. Or 10:30 until 12. That's what it is, 10:30 to 12 on Tuesday mornings. And that's with Melissa Etterberry. My class, Seat of the Soul, is closed at this point because we are in our third week, having a great time with that. However, Malika Davi is starting a prosperity book club based in prosperity. The first book that she's going to be using is Working with the Law. That class is, again, fully online in Zoom Sunday nights. I want to say 5:30 to 7. So the first half hour, maybe have a little bit of food and fellowship together, and then the second hour, talk about the book. So Working with the Law book study, prosperity book study group, Sundays starting in July. The last thing is in August, we will be doing an accredited class. Barbara Gilfillan will be facilitating that class. That class is The Power of Your Word. If you are on the practitioner path, this is a class for you. If you're not on the practitioner path, this could be a class for you. It's a beautiful, brilliant class on how to work with the laws that are here to manifest what you'd like to see in your life. So Barbara Gilfillan will be doing that. That one will be on Saturday mornings. Again, fully on Zoom. So wherever you are in the world, you can take this class. So thank you so much for being with us today. We so appreciate that you were here, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you for your support, your continued support. It's keeping us going, guys. So thank you. Keep it coming. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.